Kyrie, what's the biggest difference coming off the 3-game road losing streak to tonight?
Just our presence, just our energy out there, being able to make some shots, and sticking together. No matter what the game or the score was heading, it felt like it was our game, for the majority of the game, and they came out, hit us first, and we had to respond, and I feel like we did a great job of that. But it also helps when you have Baines out there, defensive presence, offensive rebounds, getting you extra opportunities, and then everybody fills in around the energy that we're putting forth. So it felt good. Get this win against a great team like the Raptors, and kind of make a statement for ourselves that we're obviously capable of playing against the best and being the best. So just try to build on our consistency going forward.
In a way, did you guys need a good team like this just to sort of snap into it?
Well, you would hope that you would do that, but in this league, how many games you play, no matter what's going on the outside or anything like that, you just got to truly appreciate playing the game that you love and doing it at a very high level and having some fun with it. And I felt like we did a great job of that tonight and feeding off our fans as well.
You guys seemed really fired up tonight. You seemed to really step up your game against those tougher opponents. How can you go about injecting that against teams that maybe don't automatically bring that out of you?
By just, realizing that it takes a lot of maturity to go against those teams where you have a lot more talent, but their energy is, their best chance of playing against us is playing us really, really tough. And when you're going against teams like that, you got to really bury them. And sometimes it takes more of an extra effort than going against a team like the Raptors or Golden State or something like that. We have Memphis coming in. They're a great team in the Western Conference. They play extremely hard, and we have to match that energy and be able to maintain it throughout a full 48-minute game without, kind of wavering. So I think going against those teams and teams that may put us on our heels and may surprise us, we just got to be prepared for that.
What career high 18 assists tonight for you? What was it about the game where you just felt as though you were completely in control?
Well, somehow people still think I can't pass. So, it's always an interesting thing, to get a career high in assists when guys are making shots. And that made my job a lot easier tonight. And the Raptors doing a great job of funneling me into space. And I was just trying to find open guys. And Al was under there a few times, as well as our shooters. So just feeling good about the basketball and then taking over when needed.
Kyrie, is it kind of frustrating at times when you guys play so well, and then the inconsistencies just come out of nowhere? Tonight, you guys play a pretty complete game.
Yeah.
I mean, can you capsule that and bottle it up? Or?
Well, I think that it just comes with our maturity as a team and as a whole. I did a poor job of setting an example for these young guys of what it's like to get something out of your teammates. And you go and you say something publicly, and it ends up being received in so many different ways. And you never know how fragile or what guys are going through, and you say things like that, and you're expecting results, but at the same time, I should have kept it in house. So. Going forward, I want to test these young guys, but not publicly like that. And I want to get the best out of them, but I can't do it publicly like that. And, that was a learning experience for me of being in this position of really realizing the magnitude of my voice and what I mean to this group of guys. And I wanted to see them do well. In order to do that, I got to empower them. JB was right. I gotta do the right things and really not point fingers at individuals and really realize what we can do as a group. Despite what we're doing on the road or the mishaps we may have. I've been there in the championship, I've tasted it, but I can't expect that they're going to get it right away either. So just really working on my patience and really coming in and just, helping these guys realize we can do it against the best teams, but in order to be that championship level team, we got to do it every single night against every team and prove to not just the Raptors and Golden State that we can play with them tonight. We got to prove it to every team in the league that we can really bury them. So that's just the confidence that we got to have in the mindset. So I think we're getting it.
You've been in their shoes, though. I mean, you've been the young guy, and you've had older players pull you aside and tell you what you thought they think you needed to do, but you didn't think you needed to do.
Yeah.
How tough is that to translate the message?
Well, I mean, I tell you one thing, and obviously this is something that it was a big deal for me because I had to call Bron, and tell him, like, I apologize for being that young player that wanted to everything at his fingertips, and I wanted everything to be at my threshold. I wanted to be the guy that led us to championship. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be all that, and the responsibility of being the best player in the world and leading a team is something that's not meant for many people. And Bron was one of those guys that came to Cleveland and tried to really show us what it's like to win a championship. And it was hard for him. And sometimes getting the most out of the group, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And like I said, only few are meant for it or chosen for it. And you know, I feel like the best person to call was him because, you know, he's been in this situation. You know, he's been there with me where I've been the young guy of, you know, being a 22-year-old kid and, you know, won everything right now. You know, coming off an all-star year starting, and then, you know, this heck of a presence comes back, and now I got to adjust my game to this guy. And, you know, you take it personal, but at the end of the day, he just wants what's best, and he has a legacy he wants to leave, and he has a window he wants to capture. So I think what that brought me back to was like, all right, how do I get the best out of this group of the success they had last year, and then helping them realize what it takes to win a championship. Oh, relax. Relax. We're good. All right, relax, okay? What's up? One question at a time, because when you bring up Bron, of course, it brings extra credit.
When did you call him?
I called him after the Orlando, after we came into Orlando when we were broken.
What do you say to you when you talk to him?
Well, obviously our conversation was private, but I gave you a great,
Okay.
great synopsis of what the conversation was like. So
True that.
there was just a lot of responsibility that I had to take as a young player, being in that shoes, and then understanding where our young guys are and how much responsibility I have to help teach them things and help them do the little things to win a championship.
How did you kind of come to that realization that your comments were hurting or whatever you came to the realization?
Well, I don't think they were hurtful, because I think my intent was really just set in stone that I want to win. And I don't think probably it came out the best way that I wanted to. And, you know, coming to that point, you know, I've been on a team where things have been said publicly, and it's not the best way to get the most out of the group. And, you know, you do everything as the leader of the team to get the most out of the group, and sometimes it may not be received as well as you would like. And, you know, you just got to live with that, you know, and you got to live what everyone says, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And, you know, being in this position is something new for me, you know, so I take it with a grain of salt, you know, and I just enjoy all of this. So, you know, having that moment to be able to call a guy like that, where, you know, we've been through so much, you know, where we won a championship together. We're the one of 32 teams to ever do something like that. And it took a lot, and, you know, to think that our road could have been easier, you know, and now I'm in this position. I asked for this, and I want this, and I want the responsibility, and I take it on full force. But it's also good to reach out for help and really take responsibility for what you've done in your career. You know, it takes a real man to go back and look, you know, call somebody and be like, hey, man, like, I was young. You know, I made some mistakes. I wasn't seeing the big picture like you were. I didn't have the end of the season in mind. I just wanted to get my stats and, you know, make all-star games. Like, and, you know, in his career, it means like this much at that point. So it's like, you know, so it's just good, you know, and it gave me a peace of mind, too, to go about what I got to go do. And, you know, obviously I'm going to be competing against him, the best, and everybody else in the league. But it was good.
So him being a Laker, do you help out a Celtic, though?
Mm-hmm.